So when I was looking at Grace's baptism a couple of weeks ago, I looked at the date, we planned the date, everything seemed to be going well. Grace fits into her baptism outfit, which of course is the most important thing. And then I looked at the readings for the Sunday and realised it's Trinity Sunday, right? So strap yourselves in for 2 hours worth of heady theology. I'm kidding. But I do have a true story to start with. A man opened a new business, right? I knew this man well. And his friend sent him one of those kind of sprays of flowers that you can send people to congratulate them that spells out words. Anyway, he's sitting there one day, the florist came in and the delivery person brought in this beautiful sort of spray of flowers. And he looked down at them and they said, "Rest in peace." This is bizarre. So he called his friend and he said, "Look, thank you for your gift. That's my new business, but the flowers say rest in peace." His friend said, "Oh my gosh, okay, well, I'll call the florist." He called the florist and said, "Look, these flowers that I ordered say rest in peace to my friend." And the florist said, "Oh my goodness, look, I'm so sorry. In fact, I'm furious. I'm going to have to sack that delivery man." He said, "Oh, that's a bit harsh. Why?" He said, "Well, somebody in Fairfield Cemetery has a spray of flowers saying congratulations on your new location." Missing communication, right? The idea that sometimes we mess things up, we don't communicate properly, or a message can be lost in translation. And I think, true story of course, our friend kind of hits home to the idea of Trinity and the triune nature of God. How many sermons, those of you who have been in the church for quite a while, how many sermons have you heard on the Trinity? Lots, right? How many of you fully understand the Trinity? No. Please tell me if you do, right?
No.
Nobody does. Because it's a mystery, it's difficult, it's incredibly hard and complex to grab together, to understand. In your mind, we have this idea of God which is completely unique to any other tradition. There are many things that many religions agree on. Peace, love, and taking care of each other. But the one thing that sets us apart, or sets Christianity apart, that makes it a bit different, is this idea of the Trinity. So we say there's one God, but actually there's the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Creator, Redeemer, Sustainer. Insert whatever symbol you would like to there. There's these three, but it's also one essence. Right? I think one of the best ways for us to approach this, and especially in a baptism, I'm not going to give you that 2-hour sermon, but one of the best ways for us to approach this, as a community of faith, as a bunch of people that come together every Sunday to support each other, to say what it means to be a Christian person, is to focus on a relationship. They're so intertwined, so connected, that you can't have one without the other. And it's so connected that when you yearn for one, you get all three. In fact, wherever you place your feet, sort of ideologically in this water, you commit heresy. Because it's so incredibly difficult to grasp. But imagine if we tried to reflect that relationship out in our society. Imagine if we thought about ways that we disconnect, or ways that we may be sending a message that we don't actually mean to, or ways that we may be misinterpreting a message that somebody else sends to us. Wouldn't it be incredible if we could reflect this relationship out to the world? And what would that look like? I mean, we've said it before. In a society that seems so fractured, right? So polarised, people that are either left or right, whatever political persuasion you take, you can argue over just about anything. Whether a dress is blue or white. You can argue over whether you should be doing things on a certain day or another day, when Easter should be, whether you should have hot cross buns out at a certain time. How many of you hear that every year? Right? Well, you get those memes floating around saying, oh, they're trying to take away the idea of Christmas. So you can't read it like that anymore. Of course, that's completely false. But what does it do? It sparks anger. Imagine if our first idea was not to spark anger, but to sit and listen and try and understand. To show that it's relationships that matter far more than anything else. To be honest and authentic. Because that's the essence of all relationships. You don't want pretense. You don't want false niceties. Or just tolerance that keeps people at arm's length because we're actually too afraid to be honest. We're too afraid to be vulnerable and say the wrong thing and say, you know what, I'm sorry. But that's the power of relationship. There's many ways that the church and people outside the church have a lot to be sorry for, have a lot to ask forgiveness for. There are whole areas of society in the world that think they're rejected by people in the church because historically they haven't been treated well. We have an opportunity, a gift. So, you know, we're deeply sorry. That's not the message that we want. That's not the message that we believe in. Instead, why don't you come and join us? See what it can be like. Understand that we want that connection. And it's not just part of you, it's all of you that is loved and honoured and accepted. So I think the nature of our baptism, which we're going to do for Gracie very shortly, speaks to this truth. It's not something we do on our own. We don't baptise our babies privately. We do it in community. Because it's a whole community that affirms what we're saying. The waters of baptism are nothing but revolutionary, right? It's breaking this whole idea of escape. It's breaking through the ideas that we must disagree or hate those that disagree with us. And it invites us into the oneness of God and of the rest of the world. So it's a gift, a joy, it's grace. And grace itself seems foolish. Grace is a gift which is given freely, often to those who don't deserve it. It's love given to those who we don't think deserve it. And that's exactly what we're symbolising here during Grace's baptism this morning. So please, if you haven't worked out the Trinity, come and chat to me about it. I'd love to know the secrets of the universe. If you do want to dig into it a bit deeper, though, and talk about it theologically, our Theo Cafe at the end of this month will be touching on the Trinity and discussing that, and I'm sure we'll have discussion about it there. But please, let's focus on relationship. Let's focus on acceptance and love and inclusion. In the name of God, the Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Amen. All right, can I please have